Why do you want what you want? That's not a rhetorical question. It's the beginning of a personal revolution. Most people never stop to ask it. They chase dreams, careers, relationships, and lifestyles like someone handed them a script at birth. But if you never wrote that script, how can you be sure it's even yours? Somewhere along the way, you absorb the idea that certain things equal success: money, fame, status, a perfect body, the right partner. And because everyone around you seemed to want those things too, you didn't question it. You just started running toward them. But what if your desires aren't yours at all? What if they're just hand me down goals that don't actually fit the shape of your soul? Let's go deeper. Every want, every craving, every dream comes from somewhere. Maybe it was your parents. Maybe it was your culture. Maybe it was your trauma. Maybe it was your insecurity. Desires don't show up in a vacuum. They're shaped by your environment. And that's not always a bad thing, but it becomes a problem when your environment is broken and you let it design your definition of fulfillment. Think about it. If you grew up being praised only when you achieved something, you might start to believe your worth comes from performance. If you were shamed for being emotional, you might crave relationships where you're needed instead of seen. If you were told that love has to be earned, you might chase people who make you feel like you have to prove your value. These patterns don't come out of nowhere. They're blueprints, and most people live their entire lives building a house they don't actually want to live in. Now, here's the tricky part. Modern society is a master manipulator. It profits off your confusion. It keeps you chasing things that promise fulfillment but deliver emptiness. The beauty industry tells you you're never enough. The tech industry trains your brain to crave dopamine hits. The financial system convinces you that freedom only comes after decades of sacrifice. And social media, it's a mirror house of curated illusions designed to make you question your own reflection. So when you say you want more followers, more money, more validation, ask yourself why. Ask what you think it will fix. Ask what hole it's trying to fill. Because when you dig deep enough, you'll often find that the thing you want isn't the thing you need. This is where awareness becomes power. When you start questioning your desires, you begin to reclaim them. You move from autopilot to authorship. You stop chasing symbols and start seeking substance. And that shift, it's everything. Because if you don't know why you want something, you'll either burn out trying to get it and still feel empty. That's the epidemic of modern success. People achieving their goals only to realize they were climbing the wrong mountain. They sacrificed their peace for approval, their truth for applause, their presence for performance. And the worst part? They think something is still wrong with them. But nothing is wrong, except the fact that they never stop to ask why. So, how do you untangle it? Start with brutal honesty. Write down the top 5 things you want right now. Then, next to each one, write why you want it. Then ask why again and again. Keep going until you hit something raw, something uncomfortable. That's usually where the truth lives. Maybe you'll realize you want success because you never felt good enough. Maybe you'll discover you want love because you've never given it to yourself. Maybe you'll see that you want money not for freedom, but for protection. These aren't bad reasons, but they need to be understood because unexamined desires are dangerous. They can run your life. They can become prisons with golden bars. And once you know the real reasons, you get to choose. You get to decide if those desires still serve you or if they're just ghosts from your past. That's what real freedom looks like. Not doing whatever you want whenever you want, but knowing why you want it in the first place. That's alignment, and alignment creates peace. It doesn't mean life is always easy, but it means you can finally rest in your choices. You can finally trust your path because it's yours, not your parents, not your society's, not the algorithms, yours. Here's what they don't tell you. Wanting less isn't failure. Slowing down isn't laziness. Changing your mind isn't weakness. When you start living from the inside out, everything shifts. You stop performing. You start feeling. You stop comparing. You start connecting. You stop chasing. You start choosing. And the more you live that way, the quieter the noise becomes. The easier it is to hear your own voice. That's the gift of this work. Not more stuff, not more praise, but more clarity, more peace, more you. Let's be clear. This isn't a one-time audit. It's a lifestyle. It's a muscle you build. because the world won't stop trying to convince you that you're broken. It won't stop dangling distractions in front of you. It won't stop selling you someone else's dream. But when you know who you are and why you want what you want, you become harder to manipulate. You stop reacting, you start creating, and slowly your life becomes a reflection of your soul instead of your conditioning. This path isn't glamorous. It's not always Instagrammable, but it's real. And real is rare. It's sitting alone on a Friday night because fake connection doesn't feed you anymore. It's saying no to the job offer that looks good on paper but feels wrong in your gut. It's building a life that no one claps for because it doesn't fit their definition of success, but it fits you. And that's what matters. That's what lasts. So the next time you feel yourself chasing something, pause. Ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or do I just think I'm supposed to? Then go deeper. Ask what that desire is rooted in. And if it doesn't serve you anymore, let it go. You're not here to perform. You're here to live, to feel, to create, to become. But that starts with a question. So I'll ask it again, one more time. Why do you want what you want?